How's it going, guys? Jake here, and today we're going to take a look at the MrCrayfish furniture mod, which adds a ton of new furniture to your Minecraft world, and it's just an amazing mod all by itself, so let's jump right in. So in these first two chests, I have it set up so that you can see all the different types of one particular furniture piece. So, as you can see for the coffee table, you've got all these different types that you can make either with different furniture or with the different stones. Now, if you wanted to make all these different ones, but I'm only going to show like the oak recipe, which uses oak planks as such. If you wanted to make the birch, you're just going to replace those things with the different type of wood or stone that you're wanting to make that furniture piece of. So you saw the oak coffee table, so the oak chair, you make it as such in the crafting table. And the oak cabinet, you'll take a chest, surround it with the oak planks. An oak table, you'll put a T in the crafting table. For the oak bedside, you're going to place two chests and then do an arch over it with your wood. Then for your oak desk, you're going to take 3 oak wood and then 3 oak wood planks. And then for the desk cabinet, you're going to do the exact same, but put a chest in the middle. I'm going to go ahead and grab all these pieces of furniture. Now, setting them down, you can see that, well, this one is, well, just a coffee table. And then we've got our oak chair. And now with all the different types of chairs in this mod, you can right click on them and you will be sitting down on them as such, so they're actually usable. Then we've got our oak cabinet, and now this has a nice sound effect when you open and close it, as you can hear. And then also it doesn't have that much storage space, but you'll usually place this in the kitchen and all that, so you can have several of these together. And you can place these together, unlike if you were to make a line of chests, you'd have to skip a space. Then we have our oak table, which is, well, very simplistic. We've got our oak bedside cabinet, which we can open and close. It's only 3x3 grid storage space, but it still looks very cool. Then we have our oak desk and our oak cabinet. And now these things will be connected, so you can make as long of a desk as you want. And then for our cabinet, you can see that it is just a single row of inventory spaces, so it's got 9 slots available for you to use. So coming over here to our next chest, we have another list of cool furniture things we can use. Starting off with some blinds. And to make this, you're going to take whatever type of wood you're wanting to make the blinds, then with sticks underneath, you'll get 2 of these. And to make these crates, you're going to take whatever type of wood alternating with the logs and the planks as such, and you'll get that crate. For the mailbox, you're going to take the exact same of the planks, put in a small T, and then the logs of the wood with a book, and you'll get this mailbox. For the doorbell, you're going to take your wood that you want and your note block with a button. For this upgraded fence, you're going to take whatever wood you're wanting and surround it with that type of fence. And then for an upgraded gate, you're going to take that type of gate with the wood. You'll get 2 of these. And then for our park bench, you'll take your type of wood as 6 and then have 2 oak logs as leg. Now we're going to go ahead and take all of these. Now for the crate, you're going to need this crowbar, and to make this, you're just going to take a red terracotta with 2 iron ingots. And then you also have these other things that you can use, or mainly will place in the oak mailbox. You might use these in a few different recipes down the road, but we've got a package. Now to make this, you're going to take 6 paper as such, and we've got an envelope, which is just 2 paper as such in the crafting table. I'm going to go ahead and set down this bench here, and as I said before, with all this stuff, you can sit in it and it is functional. Then this upgraded gate along with its fence. This does look very nice compared to the original fence that Minecraft has. You can tell the gate, it's got the hinges there and it's got this small bump in it, so you can open and close it as such. Looks very nice. Then for our doorbell, if we go ahead and set this down, it'll make a nice sound letting someone know that you're at the door. Then we've got our good old mailbox. Now, you have to right click this with an empty hand to claim ownership. As you can see, it is now successfully set to my name. And now I can right click on this to open it up since it is mine, and I could place whatever I'm wanting in there that I can then come check it whenever someone's left it there for me to see. Then we have our crate, and if I go ahead and set this down, if I right click on it, you'll see that it's 4x4 grid. I could place whatever I'm wanting in here, and I'll press seal. Now I cannot open this if I right click. What I instead have to do is take this crowbar and smack it, and as you can see, it opens it up, and I'll get my items back. And then finally we have our blinds. Now if I go ahead and set them up like this, and you can just hang them up on a block as normal, it doesn't have to be in between 2. You can see that you can see through it a little bit, and then when you right click on it, it will close and you'll just see whatever wood that you're using as if there's just a block there. So they are very cool, and you'll also see on the side that the string will go up and down as if you were actually opening and closing those blinds. And moving on to these next several chests, it's going to be the same type of story, is that I've just placed all the different colors you can make of these items in the chest just to let you know how many there are and what you can see and all that stuff. And so we're going to start off with a couch. Now to make this, you're going to take whatever type of wool you're wanting and just put 6 in the crafting table. Then for our white lamp, you're going to take whatever wool you're wanting, surrounding it with a glowstone and obsidian. As such, you'll get 2 of these lamps. Then for curtains, you're going to take your type of wool and put 2 gold ingots as such, and you'll get 2 of these. Then for our presents, to make this, you're going to take a package and surround it with whatever color wool you are wanting. Now, if I go ahead and set down this white couch, you can see that, well, it's a couch. And as I've said before, you can sit on all these seats. Then we have our lamp, and I'm going to go ahead and switch this over to night so that you can see that when I right click on this, it will produce a decent amount of light. And of course, you'll be given 2 of these when you craft it in the crafting table. And now with the curtains, if I come over here and set them down, it's very similar to the blinds. You can only see out of part of it. And then if I right click, you can't see out of it at all. And so very similar to the blinds, very cool. And then with the present, when you set it down, you'll automatically be forced to wrap it basically, and you place whatever you want in there. And once you wrap it, it is now sealed, so I can place it down as much as I want. But once it's signed, as you can see, I cannot unwrap it, so I'm then going to have to break it open, and I'll get my items there. Now in our next chest, we're moving on to kind of more kitchen-based stuff. We got our white kitchen counter. To make this, you're going to take whatever type of terracotta you're wanting with your white concrete. Now it will still be white concrete. All you're doing is changing the terracotta for the different colors. Same thing with this kitchen counter sink version. You're going to have your colored terracotta with your white concrete, and you have a basin. And how to make this, you're going to take 2 buttons, an iron ingot, and 4 blocks of quartz as such. Then we have our kitchen counter drawer, and you're going to take your colored terracotta, surround it with concrete, and put a chest in the center. And then we have our kitchen cabinet. Now to make this, you're going to take your colored terracotta with your concrete and your chest, and it has started to rain outside. Isn't this lovely? Now with our kitchen counter, if we go ahead and set it down, you can see that you can connect as many as you want, and it'll have this little lip sticking out. And now you can place utensils and things like microwave and blender, which I'll get into later, on top of these, and also cutting boards. For our sink, you can place it down there. And now if you're wanting to get water in this, you're going to need to come down a little bit and place a source of water underneath it. So if I go ahead and take the water that was in my inventory and place it there, and I'll just place a counter there to kind of block it off. If I right click on the sink now, you'll see that it fills it up using the water that is underneath it. Now with our kitchen drawer, if we go ahead and set it down, once again, you can right click and it'll have the same space as the desk cabinet that I talked about before, just a single row of inventory space. Then we have our kitchen cabinet, and if we go ahead and open this, you can see it has the same as the oak type of cabinet. It just got a 5x3 grid of storage, but you can place as many of them as you want together, as I've talked about before. Now moving on to our next chest, first we have some stools. Now to make these, you're going to take your color wool that you want with cyan terracotta and 2 blocks of quartz. And then for doormats, you're going to take whatever color carpet you're wanting, just place 6 of them as such. You'll get a doormat. I'm actually going to take the black one because it will allow you to see the text a little bit better. Then we have coolers. If you want to make this, you're going to take 2 blocks of quartz with whatever color terracotta you're wanting. Then we have digital clocks. Now to make this, you're going to take 6 iron ingots, bone meal, a clock, and a redstone to get that. So if we go ahead and set the stool down, you can see that it is a bar stool and you can sit on it. Then our doormat, when you place it down, you have a message that you can enter. So I can put welcome, and then you can see it appears like that. Very cool. Then the cooler, now if you right click on this, nothing will happen. You have to shift right click for it to open. Then you can right click on it and you can have a little access to a food that you place in here. As you can see, I cannot place anything other than food in there. Then we have our digital clock. Now this, when it's nighttime, will make a little bit of light, as you can kind of see with inside the cooler when I place it down, how it lights up. And so this will show the time of the world. As just a fun fact, every 10 minutes in real life is a full day in the Minecraft world. So a little useful tool to keep time. In this last chest, we have 3 final furniture pieces. We have these photo frames, and to make this, you're going to take your color of concrete, so as you can see, that color will change. An item frame with a glass pane and an oak wood planks, and you'll get this photo frame. For this modern couch, you're going to take a normal couch and just surround it with oak wood planks and then spruce wood planks on the bottom, and then you're just going to be changing the color couch to get these different colors. And then for the modern bed, you're going to take a bed and surround it by gray concrete, and it's the same, that you're just going to be changing that color of bed. Let's go ahead and grab these. And now the couch, it's just, well, a little bit different looking of couch. Looks very cool. And then we have a modern bed, which looks much better than the original bed. It's got a nice curve when it's going down. And so I'd definitely prefer to use that over the original bed. And then one of the coolest things is this photo frame. Now if I go ahead and set it down and right click on it, you have a URL that you can place in here. Now I have a GIF of dolphins, or excuse me, killer whales going around in kind of a loading sign. So I'm gonna go ahead and place that in here. And I'm gonna stretch it to the border so that it fills up the whole screen. And as you can see, it does seem a little stretched. Now this, since it's a picture frame, will just show whatever image is set. So even though this is a GIF, it's not playing the GIF because it's just supposed to be a picture. If I turn this off, you can see that there's a little bit of the background there that you can see in the picture frame. And then before I get to this chest, which contains a lot of the stuff, as you can see, I'm gonna go over this very small kind of holiday section. So we have some candles, we have a Christmas tree, a wreath, and fairy lights. Now to make candles, you're gonna take 3 stone, a cobblestone with white terracotta. Then to make a Christmas tree, you're just gonna take oak leaves in a flower pot. To make a wreath, you're gonna take oak leaves all the way around. And to make a fairy light, you're gonna take 3 string and alternating a red and green stained glass. And now with our candle, if we go ahead and set it down, it is already pre-lit and it looks very nice. Our Christmas tree, you can set it down, you can see it's fairly small, it's about the same height as a player. Then our wreath, as you can see, just set it up and you can place this on the door as well. And then fairy lights you can hang up as such, and they do produce a little bit of light and they'll alternate back and forth. And then if you have enough of these, you can decorate the tree, as if I right click, you can see I placed one of those on the tree, so you can completely fill this tree with those fairy lights. And now as I was just going over a couple of leafy things, I also wanted to go over these hedges. Now to make the oak hedge, you're just gonna take oak leaves and place them as such, and it's gonna be the same for all the other types of hedges. Now if I go ahead and set this down, you can see that they will connect together and it'll be kind of like this bush line or a hedge. And so then you can also alternate and it will connect the different ones together. And it just looks very cool, and you can outline garden in it or whatever, and just add a little more customization to your outside. Now in this final chest, this is where the main part of the mod is, and it adds a ton of cool furniture stuff that you can use. And we're going to start up here at the top with a couple of simple things of like these modern chairs. Now there are no different colors of these types of chairs, and I'm just kind of quickly showing these crafting recipes just because they're all extremely similar with this white concrete and this light gray concrete. But I'm just going to kind of show all these different crafting recipes just so you know how to make these different things. Like this modern sliding glass door, we got some white concrete and some glass pane. Then for a modern window, we got some white concrete with our glass pane as well. For a modern light, we've got some gray concrete, glowstone, glass pane. Then for our grand chair, we've got some red wool with dark oak wood planks. For a grill, we've got some red terracotta with stone and iron bars. We've got an outdoor table with oak wood and a brown stained glass. We've got an outdoor bench where you got some more oak wood and planks. And we've got a bird bath, and to make this, you just place stone as T in a crafting table. We've got a stone path, which is just 2 cobblestone for 8 of those. For a tap, we've got an iron ingot with a small L sideways of stone. For a diving board, we got some blocks of quartz with some cyan terracotta. Then we've got a trampoline. We're going to take some blue wool, some string, and some stone. Then we've got a chopped log. You're just going to take an axe with log. You'll get 8 of these. For a mantelpiece, we've got brick just in kind of a pants shape in the crafting table. For a chimney, we got 6 brick with 3 cobblestone. Then for a white gate, we've got a normal gate fence but with bone meal. And then our white fence is going to be the exact same. Then we got an electric fence, which will take that white fence, put a pants of iron ingots around it, and some redstone torch. So I've kind of just set up a line here, just to give you a kind of quick preview of what everything looks like. Now starting with this electric fence, if I brush up against this, or any creature does, you can see I will get zapped, and some cool particles go on there. Then we've got our white fence with our gate. We've got our modern stairs and chairs and tables and all that. Then we've got our sliding glass door. Now if I click on this, you can see that the door will slide open. Very cool. We've got our modern window pane, which I really like because it's got a very thin border. And we've got these oak tables, and we've got this grand chair, which you can of course sit in, and it looks amazing. We've got this grill, which is just kind of for aesthetics. You can't really do anything with this. You got a mantle, which you could place a fire underneath it. And now to make that fire, all you need to do is place 4 chopped logs as such, and then right click with a flint and steel, and you'll have a fire. Then we've got our chimney, just that's how it looks. Then we've got a trampoline, and now you can jump on this, and the more you do, the higher up you will go. Now there is a max, and you can extend these, and the blue border will go away, so we just have a bunch of gray thread. And then we've got our stone path with our bird bath. Then we have a tap, and there's a water source underneath it. So if I go ahead and right click, you'll see that it places it up on top. And then we have a surfboard, and now this is the exact same as trampoline, where if you jump on it, you will go higher, except this won't go up as high as the trampoline will, and of course, it's just kind of used for pools and all that. So that's a bunch of the different furniture pieces there. So the next thing I'm going to go over is the ceiling light, the ceiling fan, and a light switch. Now to make the ceiling light, all you're going to do is take some glowstone, some light gray concrete, and gray concrete in order to get 4 of those. To make the ceiling fan, you're going to need some gray concrete with white concrete and 2 iron ingots and a block of redstone. For light switch, you're going to take a lever and surround it by some white concrete. Go ahead and take these. If I set these down here like this, now with this light switch, you can choose as many lights or fans as you want. All you have to do to connect it to it is go up and right click on them. Now if I set this down anywhere, it could be as far away as you want, and I right click on this, you'll see that the light turns on and the fan will start spinning. And now if I wanted to deactivate or make it to where these are not attached to these, then you just come up to them and you shift and right click, and then when you place it down, it will not turn them on, as you can see. So the next thing I'm going to go over is the fire alarm. Now to make this, you're going to take 4 iron ingots, a redstone, and a note block. So if I go ahead and take this and place it right here. Now if there is a fire in the vicinity of this, you can hear it makes this loud beeping noise. And once the fire is put out, this will continue making noise until you come up and right click on it, and then it will turn off. Also, a little bit of light will be produced while it is making the alarm. Next thing I'm going to go over is the TV. Now to make this, you're going to take a glass pane and redstone and surround it with iron ingots. And I might as well go over the TV as well. You're going to take 3 iron ingots, 3 glass pane, 2 more iron ingots, and a redstone. And now with the TV and the modern TV, if I right click on this, you can see that there are multiple channels, and this works, like I said, very similar to the way that the picture frame works. So if I came here and I copied paste my URL in there, I power it, and then I'll stretch it to screen and turn off, you can see that it is playing my GIF on this TV. Now on the modern TV, which is just a much bigger screen, I'll do the exact same. And there you can see, my GIF is playing on this TV. So it is very cool, and it's awesome that you can customize it and put whatever you want up on the screen. Next, I'm going to go over the stereo. Now to make this, you're going to take 4 iron ingots, 2 note blocks, and a jukebox. And the computer, you're going to take a glass pane, some redstone, and 7 blocks of iron. Then we have the printer, and you're going to take 5 stone, 2 blocks of iron, a paper, and a redstone. You're also going to need ink cartridges for that, and to make that, you're going to take an ink and surround it by 8 stone. So a stereo, very simple. You place it down, and when you right click, you can hear that it will play all the different types of musical CDs that there are in Minecraft. So very handy, so you don't have to go into dungeons and find those. Now the computer, when you set it down, you'll see that you go onto Mine Bay, and you'll be able to buy a bunch of different blocks or items like saddles, and so you don't have to go into dungeons, diamond horse armor, all this type of stuff, and you can see what it costs here down at the bottom. So when you place this currency in the section, you'll press buy, and you'll buy one of those items. So you got a bunch of different items that you can buy on this computer. It is very handy. Also, the printer is extremely handy because when you place ink cartridges in here and a book, it doesn't have to be an enchanted book and be just a copied book that you've written, but you can copy enchanted books. Now you can see it will take a long time as it's only at 100 out of 10,000. But once this meter is completely full, you will have a copy of this book. You will not use this book. You'll have another copy for you to use however you want, except this is going to take an extremely long time. It won't take as long for a normal book though. Next, I'm going to go over the fridge. Now to make this, you're going to take a chest, a furnace, and surround them by some blocks of iron. Now I'm going to take some food to put in the fridge and some water and cooling packs. And to make a cooling pack, you're going to take some water and surround it by glass to get 2 of those. And you're going to use those for the freezer section of the fridge. So if I right click on the top, you just have a normal fridge where you can place food in and all that type of stuff. But if I click on the bottom, I have a freezer. So if I go ahead and place cooling packs up here and something I'm wanting to freeze, like this water bucket, and I press start, once this progress meter fills all the way up, I will then have a block of ice instead of this water bucket. And there we go. You can see that takes water out of the bucket, and I get the bucket back, and I also get a block of ice. And then you can see the ice level that I have remaining and how many cooling packs you can place in there in order to freeze several items. Then also there's a TV remote, and now this will allow you to control the TV and change between channels from anywhere in your house as long as you're pointing at the TV. You're going to take 6 iron ingots, a redstone, a block of redstone, a button, and a daylight sensor in order to be able to use this tiny little device. But now we're going to move on to some more kitchen utensils, such as the blender, toaster, microwave, oven, and all that stuff. And to make the blender, you're going to take 4 black wool, 4 glass pane, and an iron ingot. To make the toaster, you're going to take iron bars with 3 block of quartz, a stone, and 3 black wool. To make the microwave, you're going to take 4 iron ingots, 2 glass panes, 2 blocks of quartz, and a button. And to make the oven, you're going to take a furnace and surround it by 8 blocks of iron. Now I have some food here to cook, and there is a new type of food added, and that is a sausage. Now to make this, you're just going to take 3 raw beefs, and you'll get 16 of these. So we're going to go ahead and start on with the good old oven. So if I go ahead and right click, GUI will pop up, and it'll place a few different types of food in here. And as you can see, there is a progress meter going, and it will cook these food and place them on the bottom row, as you can see right here. So the first thing is done, and then it'll work on cooking the next thing. A little weird, but it'll be able to hold more items than just a regular furnace, and it doesn't take any power, which is really handy. So if I go ahead and place this microwave down, now you can place things in here, but it won't cook everything. It will cook potatoes. So if I go ahead and place a potato in there and press start, you can see that it goes very quickly, and then I'll have this baked potato done. It'll make a nice beep to let you know that it is done. Now moving on to the toaster, we are going to need a few different items for this. We're going to need a chopping board, a knife, and some bread. Now to make a chopping board, you're going to take 6 oak wood logs and 3 oak wood slabs. To make the knife, you're going to take a stick and a piece of stone. And to make bread, well, you already know how to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and place down this chopping board along with some bread on top of it. You can see that places it on it. If I hit it with a knife, I will then get 6 pieces of bread. And now if I go ahead and come over here to the toaster, I can place 2 pieces in there, and then if I shift and right click, it will place them down and it'll start cooking. And after just a couple of seconds, they will pop up and come out as toast. And it doesn't take too long, as you'll see here in just a second. There we go. And so then I have 2 pieces of toast, which then I of course can eat for some food. Boop, boop, boop. And then next we have this blender. If I go ahead and set it down, now there is a recipe book. Now I don't believe you can make it, but it does contain a bunch of different recipes. So for the blender, if I went there, it'll show you a bunch of different recipes there that you can make for all these different types of drinks. And so if I come over here, I've got this apple and this melon in order to make some fruit. If I go ahead and place those in there and then shift and right click, it will start blending, and you'll see that more and more liquid will be forming in there until the fruit all goes away. And there we go. After a couple seconds, the blending is stopped, and now we have some fruit juice for us to enjoy. Now in order to drink this, you're going to want a cup, and to make this, you're just going to take 7 glass pane as such on a crafting table to get this. And if you right click on this, you will have some fruit crush in your cup, and you can set these cups down so you can also make some nice decorative pieces. But of course you can drink this to fill up some good old hunger. You can also see that the level in the blender is going down, as there's only a certain amount of this drink. Okay, there are only a few things left, and we're going to start with this oven range hood. And to make this, you're going to take a sea lantern with 4 iron ingots as such. We have a cookie jar, and to make this, you're going to take a black wool with 5 glass pane, and a plate, which you're just going to take 3 blocks of quartz as such. Now, this oven range hood, if I come up here and place it there, you can see that it's off, and if I right click on it, it is producing light. It's kind of hard to see, but you'll see that the stone is lighting up and dimming when I right click on it. So it's pretty nice just to have over your oven. And then a plate, you can place some food on here for some decorative pieces as usual. And then you of course got a cookie jar, which I'm going to go ahead and grab a couple of cookies in order to place in here. And of course this is also kind of a decorative piece, but you can, right click and you'll get your cookies out of there. So you can see it's a nice stack in there. Next we got a lot of bathroom related things. Starting off with the shower head, you're going to take 3 iron ingots and 3 stone. A shower, you're going to take 6 blocks of quartz, 3 glass. We have a bath, you're going to take 5 blocks of quartz and a button. We have our basin that we already talked about. We have our wall cabinet, which is going to be a chest surrounded by some quartz. We have a toilet, which is going to be a button along with 5 blocks of quartz. We have a mirror, which will be white stained glass with 4 blocks of iron and 4 iron ingots. We have a bin, which will be a stone, 2 weighted pressure plates heavy, and 5 iron ingots. And then we have a washing machine, and to make this, it's going to be a glass pane, a furnace, and then surround that with some blocks of quartz. So I'm going to go ahead and place down my shower with my showering head. And now if you right click on this, it will start spraying out water, and well, you can go in and take a shower. Then with the bath, it works the same way as the basin, where you're going to have a water source underneath it in order to be able to fill it up, or you could just have a water bucket in hand and then fill it up. And then the basin, I already kind of talked about. Instead of it being in the counter, the kitchen counter, it's instead just, well, a basin for you to use in your bathroom. Then we have a wall cabinet, and of course you're going to place this on a wall, and then you can open it and you'll have 9 slots of storage for you to put things in. Then we have a toilet, and this does get a little gross because when you right click on it, you can, well, press G to do such. To your heart's content, along with the fact that if you shift and right click on this, it will flush. So, moving on to the mirror, now if I come here to a place where you'll be able to see, it will then just be a mirror and it will reflect exactly what is going on. Very cool. Then going on to this bin. Now this is extremely handy because if you want to get rid of things permanently, I can place the things that I've already gone over in here. And then if I click empty, they will all just disappear. They won't go underneath the block or anything. They're just permanently deleted from your world. And finally, for this washing machine, you're going to need to make some super soapy water. And to do so, you're going to need to make some soap with some light blue dye, some clay, and bone meal. You're going to make some soapy water, which is just going to be soap with a water bucket. And to make super soapy water, you're just going to take the soapy water and surround it with some golden ingots. And now this is extremely handy because if I go ahead and set this down and then put some super soapy water in there, and I have some damaged armor on me. If I go ahead and place this in here and press start, after a little bit of time, this durability will go back up to full since it's only slightly damaged. So here in just a second, you'll see that those bars, see, they went away. So it is unbelievably handy in repairing all your types of armor. Now, a cool little thing is that you can see your armor spinning around in there when it is washing it. Well, that's pretty much it for the MrCrayfish furniture mod. It is just an amazing mod that adds so much more customization to your home, and I personally love it, and I use it always when doing a modded survival. But thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, leave a like and comment down below any other types of mods you'd like me to review, and I'll see you all in the next video. High five.